All right, good evening and welcome to the 2020 Student Government Association virtual installation for Johnson C. Smith University. I am Frank D. Dorsey II, Associate Director of Student Engagement and Advisor to the Student Government Association. The Student Government Association is tasked with representing the student opinion, addressing campus needs through targeted student programming, and maintaining campus traditions. They also provide opportunities for leadership development to enrich the quality of student life. Furthermore, participating in Student Government Association allows students to learn how to communicate effectively, think critically, learn independently as well as collaboratively, while developing a compelling sense of social and civic responsibility for leadership and service in a dynamic multicultural society. Tonight, you all will get a chance to formally meet the leaders elected into the highest SGA positions on campus and see them officially be sworn into office. But before we meet those leaders, we will have remarks from our University Dean of Students, Dr. Tykeem L. Dean. Dr. Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey, and good evening to everyone. It is my absolute pleasure to greet all of you, and on behalf of our President, Clarence D. Armbruster, and our Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Davida Haywood, want to say good evening. It's good to see our former SGA presidents as well as our newly elected SGA officials at the university. These are positions that are of the utmost of importance at any institution. Some of you will look back on these opportunities in years to come and wonder how have you got where you are in life. And if I was to ask Shakoya, if I was to ask Jamia or even DeAndre, they would talk about how being an SGA president or a leader on campus has assisted them in their professional career after leaving Johnson C. Smith University. The student voice matters and it helps what keeps the engine at a university going. And so please do not take it lightly that your peers thought highly of you to elect you into these positions. And so we look forward to you continue doing great things at the university this academic year. I personally look forward to working with you, and especially when we return to campus in January. So again, congratulations, and I hope everyone have a great evening.
Thank you, Dr. Dean. The Student Government Association executive board members will take their office soon. But before we hear from those members, we would like to ask the former Student Government Association presidents to share some remarks, give advisement, and words of encouragement to our new leaders. We will begin with the most recent SGA president, Shakoya Carey Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Like Mr. Dorsey just said, my name is Shakoya Brown, and I was the 2019-2020 Student Government Association President at JCSU, of course. I'm really happy to be here tonight and get to see some familiar faces be installed as the next Student Government Association leaders. My biggest takeaway that I want you to take with you tonight is leading with community in mind. So as you look forward to the next few months and as we navigate what is the COVID-19 pandemic, I really want you guys to remember that your community is still strong and still present, even though you're physically not on campus. As you look forward to being a leader for JCSU, remember that you leave a legacy behind you. So whatever you start now, make it something that can be continued. And whatever you've seen work in the past, make that something that you prioritize as you look forward to leading for your peers. Remember to stay engaged, get to know them, reach out to them, ask them, how are classes going? How do you think our student organizations can continue to function or be better as we work virtually? And, hopefully once you do make that transition back on campus, figure out ways to help keep everyone not only safe, but also engaged with the things that you guys are doing. You want to make sure that being on SGA is enjoyable for you and is a position where you can help bring up someone else. You always want to look to inspire your peers and be not just that figure kind of person. You want to be a leader that's going to inspire other people to lead in their own capacity. Remember that you want a community, not an audience. So as a leader, you don't want people who are just going to listen to what you say and go with it. You want people that are going to challenge you, honestly. Being Student Government Association president this past year has taught me that your peers are not only your biggest supporters, but allow them to be your biggest critics. Let them hold you accountable. Let them be the people who say, hey, you know, I've noticed that you haven't gotten to this issue, or I noticed that you haven't really been on your A game. Is there any help that you may need? Is there some way that my student organization may assist you? Be open, be honest, make those connections with faculty and staff, get to know them, especially Mr. Dorsey. He is your direct advisor. Get to know him, get to know what it is that he has as a goal for the year. And remember that you don't get that full year. So take advantage of the months that you do have as a leader. Don't take it lightly, make it enjoyable, and always remember that you are the legacy that will continue to make JCSU a place of excellence. So I won't be too long because some of the amazing presidents that I got to work under also have some words for you. But before I go, I just want to say that I truly am happy for you all. Congratulations in advance. And I look forward to seeing how you lead the way for JCSU in this coming year.
Thank you so much, Ms. Brown. We will have former SGA President Jamia Booker.
Good evening, everyone. As Mr. Dorsey stated, I am Jamia Booker, a 2019 graduate of Johnson C. Smith, of course. I served as the 2018-2019 SGA president. So there are three things that I wanted to bring to your attention to remember while serving as SGA president, as well as on the executive board or councils. The first would be to always remember that even when you think that no one is listening, they are always listening, and to never settle for less. Always push for whatever goal you are trying to reach. As Student Government Association president or executive board members, you always represent the unit being the student body. So they look for you to push whatever issues that they bring to your attention or that you may observe on campus. As SGA president, well, to begin, in 2015, when I arrived to Smith, I began to observe certain issues that we were dealing with. And over the years, I just took note and I observed, and I made it my priority that once I became SGA president, that I was going to make some changes happen. And if I couldn't make the changes happen, I would at least bring awareness to the situations and the issues at hand. So my advice would be to always make sure you're fighting for what's right for yourself as well as the student body, because you represent the unit, which is the student body. I would have to say that being SGA president, it taught me to, push forward, be transparent, not only with myself, but with others that I represent in the community. And as Ms. Dr. Dean said, the SGA president position, it has encouraged what I become outside of Smith after graduation. I now serve as a legal assistant. And being in this position, I took a lot of advice from Mr. Dorsey, Dr. Dean, a lot of other administrators on the campus have helped me to, shape into the woman that I am as a legal assistant today. So first and foremost, I want to congratulate you all. I look forward to everything that you all will do on campus. I'm tuning in, staying tuned in. Thank you, Mr. Dorsey, for having me. Good luck to you all during your tenure. And if you all need any advice, feel free to reach out. I'm always available to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Booker. And last but definitely not least, we will have remarks from former SGA President DeAndre Carter.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name is DeAndre Carter. Like Mr. Dorsey said, I was SGA president for 2017, 2018. This role is honestly the first step in being a public servant. In my current role, I'm a director of operations for a member of Congress, and I take being a public servant very serious. In the same sense where I report to over 55,000 constituents every day, you guys are reporting to your constituents or your fellow Smithites every day too. And you should take that very, very seriously. You are the people that have the voice to go up to administrators. When I heard SGA, I started off as a sophomore and worked my way all up. I got to see through it's different phases. I got to be there when President Armbruster came in for my last year, and that was a great memory to have, because I got to issue in the new president and get him to see what I see every day and kind of welcome him to the school. And many presidents before me didn't get the chance to see that. So that was something that I really cherish and still cherish to this day. Remember that you're a team. For every single one, from the SGA president all the way down to a secretary to a senator, you're a team. Remember that you have to take care of each other. You have to be there for each other, and you have to look out for each other. I couldn't have done it without Shakoya, Jamia. Like, they were my backbone when I was SGA president. And to this day, we are still all good friends, because when I did something that I shouldn't have done or that was not the best decision, those two were the first ones to run to my room after the SGA meeting. It was like, you were wrong. We should have did this. Like, I told you this, or I told you that. And we may have disagreed in the moment, but at the end of the day, I knew that they were there to have my back, and that they truly cared about what our administration was doing. Another tip or another piece of advice is, don't take the position for granted. It's a short term. It's only a year. While it seems very long, it's going to go by very quick. Take every minute, take every second, and make sure that your administration is doing as much as you can in that time. Just to piggyback off of that point, again, there was points where Dr. Dean, Mr. Dorsey told me different things, and we were going back and forth in their office, and I may not have agreed with what they told me, or liked what they told me, or the advice that they gave or gave me in that moment. But just in my job today, sometimes the advice or what someone tells you, you may not like, but it's something that you need to hear. And that's the same thing when a student comes up to you and tells you something about your administration, or tells you something about the school. Take it. You may take it with a grain of salt or something like that, but take that and take it back to your board, take it back to administration, and make sure that their voices are heard. I know that this year is going to be different with COVID being out there, and virtual learning, and students not necessarily being on campus, and different things like that. In my job, we've had to adapt, and I know that you guys will be able to adapt, and just make sure you, again, just use every second, use every minute, and try to make the most out of it. Virtual events are a big weakness, but they're also a great advantage to you. So really use that tool to the best of your ability. And again, congratulations to everyone. As Jamia said, we are definitely here for any help, any advice that you need. Feel free to reach out to any of us, all of us. It's always good to have more than one opinion. So thank you again, congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you guys as administration go forward.
Thank you for those remarks, Mr. Carter, and happy homecoming to our alumni who are participating in tonight's program. A good member of SGA and an outstanding leader is not solely determined by who has the loudest voice. It is not the most popular person or the person who can organize the best activity. Your day-to-day performance and character is a large factor that determines the quality of leadership. To speak more and to congratulate you and to give more remarks, we will now listen to our university president, President Armbruster. I think he's joined us already. Yes.
I have, and sorry I'm late. I was chairing a meeting that went a little longer than had been promised. And then I initially went to YouTube, and I realized that I didn't realize Mr. Dorsey had sent me a Zoom link, because I was watching you guys and I couldn't talk. But I was so excited, first of all, to see the three previous SGA presidents who served in my short term here, and particularly nothing against Jamia and Shakoya, but particularly happy to see DeAndre, who we just linked up, I think, over the weekend. And because I didn't realize that you were in Congress there. So it's really exciting to see you back. Well, it's great to see you, Jamia and Shakoya. It was great to see you as well. Mr. Carter in particular talked about one of my lasting memories, which was really sitting down with the SGA immediately upon my arrival. And I've offered to the incoming president, Mr. Edwards, to do the same with you once you get back. He and I had an opportunity to talk last week. All I want to say is that we really appreciate the leadership you provide. In my tenure here, we've had some challenges, but I can always say without fear of contradiction, my relationship with SGA has been, from my perspective, been wonderful in large part because we've kept the lines of communications open. We always didn't agree, but we always were respectful. And I really appreciated the perspectives that students bring to such important issues. And believe me, there are going to be some important issues. There are. The fact that you're not even here on campus is an important issue. And as I mentioned to Mr. Edwards, we're working very, very hard. I'm looking forward to our town hall when we can talk to you about some of our future plans in the next week or so about that. But you all are leaders. And as I can say, as the former SGA presidents have indicated, each of them was an outstanding leader here on the campus and provided me with a lot of perspective from a student's perspective. And I wish you all nothing but the best and let you know that my door is open. I'll be working closely with your president and with all the members of the executive committee of SGA. Johnson C. Smith continues to be a special place. And as I said to Mr. Edwards and others, I really do miss you guys. And I'm really looking forward to welcoming you back here in January, conditions permitting. So with that, I don't want to prolong it any further other than to say good luck and Godspeed. And we look forward to having you back. But in the meantime, I know you're going to be great leaders, just as your predecessors have been great leaders and have turned into outstanding citizens. So again, thank you, Mr. Carter, Ms. Booker, and Ms. Brown for coming back. And happy homecoming, and good luck to the new and incoming administration. Thank you so much, Mr. Dorsey. I appreciate it.
Thank you, President Armbruster. So the purpose of SGA is to encourage superior standards in academics, leadership, loyalty, honesty, and mutual respect. It's to provide an effective means for students to express their wishes on matters directly concerning the university. SGA encourages student participation and generates student spirit through supporting the university, student organizations, and co-curricular activities. SGA acts in the best interest of the student body at all times and encourages activities of social, educational, and community service to impact the overall cultural nature of our campus. SGA is also responsible for approving and recognizing all student organizations and overseeing expenditures of student fees allocated to the Student Government Association. At this current time, we will go through the pledge. And when I say I, you will state your names individually for virtual chaos. And we will continue to repeat after me. So I'm going to ask all of the incoming members of SGA to unmute their mics. Cool. All right. See, everyone's mic is unmuted. I individually state your names.
I, Anthony Edwards.
I, Talisa Roseborough.
I, Shireen Hardy.
I, Michaela Brown.
Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties and responsibilities entrusted to me.
Do solemnly swear.
I swear. Execute the
Duties.
duties and responsibilities allocated to me.
By virtue of the office.
By virtue of
the office.
Within the Student Government Association Executive Board.
Within the
Student Government Association Executive Board.
I will do my best.
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 Of my ability.
Of my
ability.
To preserve, protect, and enforce.
To preserve,
protect, and
enforce.
The Constitution of the Student Government Association.
The Constitution
of the Student Government
Association.
Of Johnson C. Smith University.
Of Johnson C.
Smith University.
I will act in accordance.
I will act in accordance.
To the betterment of my university.
To the betterment of my
university.
And concerns of my peers.
And concerns
of my peers.
Thank you. Before we hear from the SGA president, I want to allow an opportunity for the other members of SGA to give any remarks at this current time.
Okay, I'll start. So good evening, everybody. I'm Talisa Roseborough, a senior from Harlem, New York, and I'm serving as your 2020-2021 SGA Vice President. I would first like to express my gratitude to you all for your words of encouragement and advice. And I also want to thank my peers for allowing me to serve in this position. I'm very excited to see how my board will lead with confidence and transparency for this school year. And I'm confident that with your help, we'll be able to make this very different semester one that is worthwhile and memorable. And I want this to be an experience where we grow together, learn together, and celebrate our wins together. Thank you again, and I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Any other remarks?
I would like to say something. Hello, my name is Michaela Brown. I hold my position as Director of Public Relations. I'm very excited to be part of this. I'll call this a family, so instead of a board. My 3 goals that I plan to bring to SGA, Student Government Association, is leadership, determination, and persistence, because I feel like all 3 of those goals form a legacy, and that's really important to me. And like the former president said of SGA, like he mentioned before, don't take your title for granted. I will not take my title for granted. Like Mr. Dorsey heard me say millions of times, I am the face of JCSU, and I'm not gonna let that go to waste. And I look forward to see what this semester and next semester brings. Thank you.
Thank you.
I, Shireen Hardy, would like to say I do take this as a great accomplishment. I look to serve as SGA Executive Secretary. And again, I do look to bring some things to the table to help enforce and make the school a better university.
Thank you so much. So since arriving at JCSU, Anthony Edwards has been bombarded with nothing but love and support from everyone on and off campus. Once he recognized that he was in a position to give back, he immediately gave all that he could to others on campus. He made himself available to speak at open houses. He gave interviews about his experience as a student, and he even mentored other students on campus. While leadership is usually seen as being tied to an official position, he has been able to demonstrate the ability to recognize issues and connect with the proper channels to solve them. When we were without an elected Student Government Association Executive Board, Anthony helped craft a letter to address students in the wake of the protest of the George Floyd death and aided in the development of our university's strategic plans for the sustainability of our university's future. The Student Government Association president recommends policies, facilitates the resolution of student grievances, and provides input about various issues at the university. Additionally, the Student Government Association president serves as a non-voting member of the University Board of Trustees. At this current time, I introduce to the student community our 2020 Student Government Association president, Anthony Edwards.
Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, Smithites. I would first like to thank everyone who has helped me to achieve my position, has encouraged me and allowed me to represent all the different ideas and presentations that they want to see the school transform into. I would like to thank the administration staff and students, because without you, we won't have any of this to take place. As your new president, I would strive to the best of my ability to ensure that your voices are heard, the school is improving even in ways that people don't consider, such that it's always going to be a source of pride to say that you went to JCSU. I will hope to achieve that leadership potential that everyone wants me and sees that a leader can be, such that they're able to be motivated to do the best of their ability everywhere. And all I can say pretty much is to attend the town hall next week and also vote to ensure that you are representing the best of what you can do. Thank you.
Thank you, President Edwards. As stated at the beginning of this session, we understand that we are in a very unique time, and this is still a very historic moment. You will have that opportunity to say that you led as student leaders during the time of the coronavirus. And I know for a fact as you prepare to continue to move off into the world and you interview for your next job, they will ask you, how have you survived adversities? And this is one adversity. We are still committed to making sure that you all are officially recognized when we return to campus, granted the opportunity to return to campus. But I want to say I'm proud of you all as individuals, as leaders. I'm proud of the work that you've been able to do so far. I'm excited that the former SGA presidents were able to come back as well. It really shows what this experience is about and the outcomes that you can get from participating in the Student Government Association. Before we end tonight, I would like to encourage anyone that is watching us via YouTube to join the Engage Her Empowerment program that's being held by the University Library. I'm going to share my screen to show, I was going to share my screen to show that, but it's not up. You can follow the University Library, and also make sure that you're watching us on JCSU Student Affairs to keep up with our virtual student programming. Thank you so much, President Armbruster, for joining us this evening. Thank you so much, Dr. Dean, for joining and giving the open remarks as well. And thank you to our new Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Davita Haywood. She's actually watching via YouTube right now. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support of this virtual installation. Once again, I thank you all for joining. I'm proud, and we look forward to seeing what the 2020-2021 Student Government Association Executive Board will accomplish this school year.